trying to get this inverter mounted and figure out where I'm going to wire it. So I'm inside the camper here. There's the bed up there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a cord, extension cord, from the inverter that's down in the front section of the camper, which is right behind this wall here. And I'm going to run it to this power strip, which has a circuit breaker on it, and that'll give me what is there, 6 outlets. And mainly I'm going to be using this near the kitchen area where I'm going to plug in the coffee maker. I'll probably set the coffee maker back in that corner and then use it. So what I decided to do was, this is kind of solid across here. I need some new plastic trim. That trim is so old and shrunk up it doesn't even fit anymore. But anyway, this is kind of got a solid piece of wood across there. So for mounting this power strip kind of up and away from the counter surface, I figured I'd mount it right here. And then I took a tape measure and measured across, because right behind this section is the original battery compartment where I wired in the wires you saw in my last video. It's 2 feet. That space below is 2 feet deep, so I came out to 2 feet, and then I know I needed to go just a little bit beyond that and drill a hole. But I had to be careful because this bed is pretty solid here, and it's right up about here, so I needed to be below that to go into that cavity down below. And I just tapped across here and tried to find what was a hollow sound, so I knew I wasn't going through a stud or something. And then I took my drill and did an old trick here. I got my special drill bit in there. That's about 1.5 feet long, maybe 2 feet. And all that is a wire coat hanger. And I clipped the end of it off. Kind of gave it a sharp edge, so I could drill a real small hole to test and see if it's going to be in the right place or not. So let me run this in here, if I can do it holding the camera. And actually I pulled it out, so it's, there we go. So I drilled a hole through there, and I could feel it just go through a couple of thin layers. Just this thin paneling, this side, and then one on the compartment down below. So let's go down there and I'll show you. If it's not too dark, it's kind of a cloudy, nasty, rainy day. I'm trying to get this done. At least the temperature is not bad, but it is windy. And here's where I've got the inverter mounted. I'm just going to have it sit right here. Maybe I'll velcro it to the floor or something. And I've got the negative going up to the shunt. It's hard to see, I know it's dark, but it's the black wire coming up right there, so that any power going through the inverter will be measured on the trimetric. And then my positive is going to get fastened to the wall and go up to the other side of that fuse block that holds that 80 amp fuse, which is more than enough for a small inverter like this. Anyway, up here in the corner, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that wire is poking through right there. That's right exactly where I wanted it. So all I'm going to do is make a custom extension cord. Plugs into the inverter, will go up the wall, and it'll get fastened with these other wires, just a straight line across the wall. and then it'll go up into that hole, and I'm going to hardwire that power strip to the inverter. That same hole is the same hole I'm going to pass my my remote switch for that inverter. Both going to come through this hole and be right here where I have my power strip installed. So let me get that going. I got to drill a bigger hole here now so that I can pass this cord through, and then I'm going to cut the end of this off and splice it to my extension cord. Actually, I could use a small extension cord if I have one. I'll probably just splice it, make a custom cord. I bought a couple of 10-foot orange extension cords at Menards a few months back. I got two 10-foot excuse me, two 10-foot extension cords for like $6, so I don't have a problem with cutting one of those up to make it a custom cord. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll show you how it comes out. There we go, final installation. So I got my power strip, cord run down through that hole just like I said I was going to do, and then my wire's coming up from my switch. And all that is I'm just going to plug those two wires together. I don't have a switch, or I'd probably put one on there, and I may do so in the future, but this will be fine. If this wire touches something, it's dead wire. It's not going to do anything anyway. So those will just kind of hang out right there. And let me go down below and kind of show you what I got done down there. I came through with that cord, and then I connected it to my extension cord with twit lock wire nuts. Now, I just made this cord because I decided I wasn't going to cut that one I had up, so I just soldered this wire together to a piece of extension cord I had just scrap laying around, trying to use up some of this stuff and not buy anything. And I reconnected the end that originally came off of that power strip. So that's just going to sit like that. I still need to secure this board down to hold the batteries in. Then I'll probably put some heavy-duty Velcro on the floor just to hold that in place. Not like it's going to go anywhere, but I don't want it banging around. And then here's my switch wires, and they're connected, and they just go up. I may put maybe one more zip tie on that. Made a couple of hangers to secure this wire harness. I just used an old piece of rubber hose and cut a strip out of it, wrapped it around one of the wires, and screwed it to a stud that's behind that wall. And then that wire is just hanging loosely, and it follows right in the same hole along with the power strip. And I just got a little carrier there to hold it from rattling around. So I'll have to plug this hole that I made here with something, and probably the one that's back up in that corner, and then this will be complete. I got my 80 amp fuse in place that powers the inverter, so if something happens to the inverter, real easy, some finger or wire nuts on the back to take it off and replace it if I need to. Alright, let me go inside and actually let me show you right here. Looking at it, I can use it, like say I'm out here and I want to plug in a power tool, I can just hit that button and turn the thing on. Notice it took a couple seconds for the red light to go out, but then it does, and then it provides power. So let me shut it off, and we'll go inside. Back inside. And I'm gonna set up this little tripod. So you can see this. Okay, so notice the power strip. Nothing, no power. All I do is plug that in. And I can even hear that inverter chirp if it's quiet out. Power. So when I get ready to use a 12 volt, not 12 volt, a 110 appliance or house appliance, something small, it's only 750 watts, like my coffee maker as an example. Plug that in and I can see immediately that I've actually created power from the inverter is actually turned on. When I'm done with the device, just unplug it. Just let those wires just dangle there. They're out of the way. And that's it. Now if I had a switch, I could just hit the switch and it'd give me the power. But since I don't have a switch, we'll go with the simplest switch possible known to man, and we'll use this one. 110 power. There we go. And I don't know if you can hear it on the video, but I can hear the thing beep, so that's kind of nice. And at the same time, if I want to look over here at my monitor and see what it's pulling, I can do that too. Alright, that's it for this one, guys. Talk to you later. See you on the next one.